Hey y'all, welcome back to your girl channel. Welcome back to another Lexii topics discussion. So we getting straight into the topic discussion today. So today's topic is about growing up in a single parent home, the ups, the downs. Well, not really so much of the ups, but we will we will touch on the ups today, but I really want to basically talk about growing up in a single parent home and how to overcome and get through it. So let's get into the video. So I really want to talk about, like I said, growing up in a single parent home. So growing up in a single parent home for me, I'm going to just start with myself. It was kind of hard because honestly, looking at my mother, because my mother, she was the breadwinner. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she is going to get it by any means. She going to make sure her family, her child is good. So that's pretty much what she did. She made sure I was at my grandparents' house every weekend so I can go to church on Sundays. She made sure I was fed each and every day. She made sure the bills was paid, etc., so on. But growing up with just my mom, you know, her trying the best that she could and doing the best that she could to make a way, it was a little hard, I'm gonna be honest, because I basically went to daycare. I was at my grandparents' house on the weekends. I stayed with my older cousin like the younger years of my life. I stayed with them kind of like on the weekends, sometimes maybe the weekdays occasionally. And then, you know, growing up, I just felt like, honestly, like it wasn't much time. Because, like I said, my mom, she made sure she got it done. She made sure I was fed and good. But the only thing about that was the time. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I was going to school. Yes, I was going to daycare. But it's like the time for each other. It wasn't much there. And now I know times have changed. I know some, you know, y'all probably don't have them issues. But I'm just speaking from my standpoint. And if you do feel what I'm saying, comment below. Whether if you're just growing up with your mother or if you're growing up with just your dad. It goes the same. It goes pretty much the same way. But y'all, like I said, growing up with just my mother, she did everything that she could. And I love her for that. And shout out to all the single parents out there. Shout out to y'all. But okay, so speaking from a child standpoint, growing up in a single parent home, of course you do need a significant other. You do need another being of the opposite sex, or some of y'all may want the same sex. So yeah, it does take a village to raise a child. All of that just on one person, it's hard and it's tough, and it's like the child, we're looking on the outside in like, oh my gosh, like I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, you know, and then you get it, but it's like you don't understand like what your parent had to do for you to be able to have that life. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be hard on our parents just because, you know, we may not be getting our way or we seem like things aren't going our way, because actually if you really think about it, everything is amazing. You have to be grateful for what you have. And yes, it does take a village to raise a child, but if you are in that situation where you're growing up in a single parent home, like you feel like that ain't enough, you want your dad, you don't know who your dad is, or maybe you do know who your dad is, but your dad just not doing what they supposed to do, he just not around. Just be grateful that your mom is stepping up to the plate and doing the best that she can. And I feel like as us young adults, and I know some of us have kids young, we not really understanding or knowing how that can affect our children. But like growing up, or just not growing up, my bad. So say if you meet somebody and you having like good sex, you're not really understanding like, yeah, that may cause a child. Or some of y'all may know like, yeah, we may have a child, but honey, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing because it's good. You feel what I'm saying? At that specific time, you having fun, you living life, you doing young things, you know what I'm saying? You doing what you want to do. So you know, a child comes up, but the other one can't take care of the child. The other one isn't ready to take care of the child. Maybe they got something that they really need to be doing right now, like life. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that you can't live your life and do what you want to do when you have a child, but just know that it's not all about you anymore. So I feel like when that comes to play, I feel like that may causes like conflict with partners, because they don't really have the discussion of what if we have a child, or what are we going to do when we do have a child. And I know a lot of people may say, you never ready, you'll never know when you're ready for a child, this, that, and the third. And that could be true. You might never be ready until you actually have that child. But what I'm saying is, if you have a partner and y'all are, it takes two to have a child. Someone needs to be having a conversation. Conversation needs to be brought up that a child is about to come in play. So we need to make sure our child is good and have everything that it needs. So I feel like if you have been growing up in a single parent home and you know it's hard, and you see how hard that your parent is trying to provide for you, understand it. Actually understand that internally, like, they doing the best that they can do. They doing the best that they can do. And it's hard out here in this world. So if you do have a parent, be grateful. Even though you might not have two. You may have family members that you can call on, or you can go to. Just be grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? And even though it may be hard on you, because you may see other kids, they have their father come into different games or different events, and you don't, it's okay. Just know that when you get older, just make sure you understand everything. Make sure you see everything for what it is. Don't be in denial about things. Yes, mommy is going through tough times. Yes, it is hard to raise a child on your own. Yes, daddy is doing the best that he can to provide for his child. But it's also hard. You know what I'm saying? It's also hard. And making sure you understand that it is hard. Making sure you actually don't really go through the same steps or the same, thing that they went through. You want to always make better for your kids. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you went through and it didn't feel good. It ain't no need to put your child in that predicament. Because it's like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to the child? The child don't deserve that. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not downing nobody that had children young, or just have, one parent in the household. Because like I said, we all are experiencing life. Nobody is perfect out here. And that's one thing I realized when my dad wasn't around. I'm like, I really ain't stunned him. But one thing I can say though, even though I was feeling like that, like, wow, he really let my mom do everything on her own, I had to realize that I can't be faulting him. I can't hold this anger and grudge in my heart and in my soul towards this man because he wasn't there. Was it right? No, it's not right. Of course it's not. But can I say he's completely 100% wrong? Who am I to really 100% say that? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was just really not ready. And sometimes, even though you want to point fingers and you want to have all this resentment and grudge in your heart, that's not going to help you be the best that you can be by holding grudge. Now, of course, you got to know that I would never be like that. I would never let my child grow up in this world not really having me there. Boom, boom, so on and so forth. But I feel like holding grudges and holding that hate in your heart and resentment in your heart is not going to get you nowhere either, honestly. So just accept it for what it is. Love on your parent. Make sure that you know that they doing the best that they can do. You feel what I'm saying? They doing the best that they can do. And nobody's perfect out here. So if you want to think that somebody's perfect just because you may see other kids, it may seem like they living a perfect life. Everything isn't what it seems, Some people are more fortunate than others. But just make sure, even though you're seeing that, accept your life. Be grateful for your life that you have. And then when you get older and you grow up, you have these things and morals and principles instilled in you so you can know how to live and know what to do. Honestly, I feel like that's the best way I can put it with growing up in a single parent home. Yes, it's hard. I would be a hypocrite to say it's not hard, because it is hard. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely hard. But it's also possible. It's also parents, they do the best that they can to get the job done. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to accept that, and you got to love them that they did everything that they could do for you, and you got to be there for them when the tables turn. You got to just be there for them as well. So yeah, I hope y'all like this topic. I just want y'all to know that if you are growing up in a single parent home, just know that it's okay. Just know that mama loves you or daddy loves you. They're doing the best that they can. Nobody's perfect out here, You can't just try to look at all the little kids because they may say this or say that or pick. Kids is gonna pick. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be content with yourself. You got to love yourself. You gotta love yourself, baby. You do, because your mama love you and your daddy love you, and you know you have family and friends that love you too. So just be grateful for what you have. Um, learn things off of other little kids. It's not, not the ones that think they better than somebody. You can learn off of them too, honestly. But just try to surround yourself with kids that understand that, that still helps you and loves you and try to bring you in, because you will meet some friends along the way. Sometimes you may not, it be like that. Sometimes you may fall out with other children or other kids growing up, and that's okay. But just make sure you're content with yourself. Make sure you are helping your mom or your dad out the best way that you know how. Don't try to, put so much pressure and hate and, so much stress on them, because they are doing the best that they can, y'all. And that's really all I wanted to say. Growing up in a single parent home, just make sure you are growing up with morals and principles, learning that it is hard for just one person to do it. So you can know to make sure you have a conversation with your partner the older you get, to be like, no, are you gonna be able to help me with this? If it's tables turn, will you be doing this? And also, conversations are amazing, but you have to actually have action minded. So when y'all have these conversations, what is his actions are showing? What are her actions showing? You know what I'm saying? Are they really going to be a good fit to have children with? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but sometimes things happen. Sometimes, a parent can pass away and stuff like that. And, and that's sad and it hurts too, because nobody can do nothing about that. When death come calling, it is what it is, it's sad, but you got to remember, them within your heart and pictures and stuff like that, and keep that alive through that way. But yeah, y'all, just make sure you stay strong out here mentally, emotionally, and physically. Everything is not what it seems. I know you feel like, oh my God, the world is over. But no, it's not. It's not. Just be grateful for everything that you have. Love on yourself more. Love on your people that you have around more. And see how that will work for you. But I hope y'all like this topic. Y'all make sure y'all give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like. And until the next topic. Mwah.